Right now, the Badgers are continuing their fight against the Broncos in the first game of the season at Camp Randall. Scores and highlights tonight in your final drive. Plus, an arrest in Janesville after police say a man shot at the doors of a high school last week. And from ADA accessibility to new learning updates, we take you on a new tour of new and improved facilities at Madison's high schools. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. And breaking into the newsroom tonight, the Harmony at Grandview Commons Apartments on Madison's east side will be under new management, according to a letter residents there sent News 3 Now. Horizon Management Services sent communication to residents that they will terminate their ownership effective next Friday. A separate letter was sent to residents from Affiliate Management Services saying they're taking over from Horizon. The letter says Affiliate is a part of Royal Capital Ownership Group. The Affiliate property manager says a resident meeting is scheduled for next Thursday evening. News 3 Now has been following residents of the Harmony as they fought for changes in programming and youth services after 21-year-old Devon Grant and 15-year-old Kaisha Miller were shot and killed months apart from each other last year. This is a developing story. Be sure to follow News 3 Now and Channel3000.com for the latest. After years of construction, Madison's high schools now have some new facilities. Our Ellie LaLiberte spent the day following the school board to see those new updates.
This school year, there are new updates to La Follette and Madison East High School and Madison West High School and the newly named Belle Phillips Memorial High School. And all of these changes throughout these high schools are because of a referendum back in 2020. Madison's high schools have a new look this school year.
It's exciting.
Updates include reconfigured spaces to improve accessibility and ADA compliance, added welcome centers, remodeled learning spaces like libraries and classrooms, and redone restrooms and locker rooms. It's all from a $350 million referenda that voters approved back in 2020. MMSD board members say it was worth the wait.
It's kind of surreal, to be 100% honest, because I remember looking at sketches, looking at plans, thinking, is this going to work? And suddenly to see all of this is just it's really neat.
Students are ready to get back in the classroom next week.
It's a whole new school. It's a whole new vibe. It's a whole new experience.
I'm glad that the community chose to invest in something like this because it's going to be, something priceless even. As much money as it took to get it in and get it done, this is something that's going to last for years, for generations.
We want to thank the community.
One educator says the change doesn't stop here. MMSD has 2 referenda questions on the ballot for this November.
We took care of the inside of the building and the outside of the building. Now it's time to take care of the staff. To be able to pay staff, teachers, counselors, custodians, whatever, more money and on an appropriate level so that they can perform at the highest level. It's time to reward our staff.
The goal is to get voters to approve $100 million for operational costs over 4 years and over $5 million for facilities over 23 years to continue investing in the district. While the speakers were showcasing the changes that were being made here in these high schools, they were also asking attendees to go out and vote in November. Reporting in Madison, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. Those MMSD 2 referenda questions break down to $25 million a year for operations and roughly $22 million a year for facilities. Well, tonight seemed like the perfect night to get out, watch the gridiron, and maybe get out the grills for this weekend for Labor Day. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington has more on your first warm forecast. Hi, Alex.
Hey, hi there. I concur. All of the above. Beautiful weekend for all of those sorts of outdoor activities. Beautiful temperatures Saturday and Sunday. Let's take a look at the 3 things here that you need to get out of the bottom line here. Warm Saturday, cooler Sunday through Tuesday, warmer by Wednesday. So this forecast is really all about the temperatures. Labor Day weekend, 82 Saturday, 75 Sunday, 74 Monday. So a little cooler Sunday going on into Monday. As I've been saying the past couple of days, I highly doubt there'll be very many complaints with that very pleasant temperatures that we're going to have over the course of the weekend. 62 in Madison, 59 right now in Lone Rock, 61 in the Dalles, 64 in Janesville. So we're cooling on down for a comfortable night that we can expect across southern Wisconsin. We've got a lot of 62s and 63s. That's what I was going for towards the end of the Badger game. Temperatures right around the lower 60s. Planning the rest of the night, those temperatures go down into the upper 50s to start off Saturday. We're going to have high temperatures of 82 on Saturday. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to try track Sunday's temperatures, Labor Day's temperatures, and then the temperatures after that. Where will they go? I have the answer.
All right, thank you, Alex. And the weather will be great for the unofficial end of summer, but the American Red Cross wants you to keep some other things in mind when having your Labor Day fun. When you're traveling on the roads, make sure to pack a to-go bag in your vehicle with flashlights, batteries, chargers, and more. And when you get to your destination and want to fire up the grill, make sure you keep it supervised and away from children and pets. And then, of course, make sure you handle the food safely.
So a few things that we want to keep in mind, it's food safety. Obviously, keeping cold food cold, warm food hot, and keeping uncooked foods different from salads, fruits, desserts, things like that.
If you want to hit the water, make sure a lifeguard is on duty. And if you're in a public pool or lake, if you have an individual pool, have a designated pool watcher. If you see someone going under and struggling, do not jump in. Throw them something instead to help them float or get out of the water. Well, we're continuing to follow ongoing developments within the Baraboo Police Department. The department saw 3 officers undergo a criminal activity investigation after they were accused of being connected to a drug dealer. Our Maddie Heimsch has the latest.
There are 2 investigations to be aware of here. The first, an internal investigation within the Baraboo Police Department, and the second, a criminal investigation with the Department of Justice. One of the 3 officers, Derek Birch, resigned amid the investigations. The Baraboo PD found that the other 2, Nick Birch and Mike Pitchler, did not violate criminal law. But the DOJ's investigation is still ongoing.
The background checks of any law enforcement officer, or really anybody in the criminal justice system, are incumbent upon the employing agency.
Baraboo PD held interviews this morning for new officer candidates.
They could be as minimal as trusting what's on the resume and what's on the application, or as detailed as conducting a very thorough background investigation.
Law enforcement consultant Brian Lander says it's hard to find qualified candidates in the industry.
The shortage of law enforcement is very real, and you might find, and I'm not indicating that Baraboo is one of them, but you might find agencies that would just hire somebody that typically they would never hire before, just because they could fill a shift. Any chief or sheriff is in a very difficult situation right now with the shortage of law enforcement.
I spoke with Baraboo Police Chief Rob Sinden today off camera. He couldn't discuss information related to the investigation, but he says he's committed to holding criminals accountable and is ready to move forward as a department. We'll continue to keep you updated on the developing situation right here on News 3 Now and on channel3000.com.
Well, Wisconsin football is kicking off their 2024 season as we speak. Hosting a Western Michigan, the Badgers were expected to beat handily, but right now the second half is just getting underway, and it is a closer game than many Badger fans will want to hear, with Wisconsin leading 10-7 early in the third. Andrew will have more in sports. Well, the season opener is a long-awaited day for Badger football fans, and this year comes with some big changes in store. For fans this year, there's some big changes coming to Camp Randall. For the first time, the stadium is selling prepackaged alcohol like beer, wine, and seltzer. Anyone who appears under the age of 40 can be expected to show ID. UW Police will have an increased presence on site, but as the season gets underway, Madison Police wanted to remind fans of how to enjoy games responsibly.
Make sure that if you are going to consume responsibly, stay in a group, make sure you all get home safely. I do remind everyone that there is a city ordinance that does ban having open alcoholic containers on city property. But my biggest thing is if you are going to go out and you are going to consume and you are of age to consume, be out with a group of friends, have a plan to get home.
Tonight, fans also got to check out a new video board inside the stadium and additional restrooms. News 2 Now caught up with some Badger fans ahead of tonight's game, and they're pumped for the rest of the season.
It was definitely difficult to get season tickets this year, which is sad that I didn't get them, but I'm really looking forward to the next games.
The energy is great, and we have like a bunch of fun traditions like jump around, and they play Build Me Up Buttercup, which is super fun and just great energy.
There we go. There's some of that energy right on display. You can catch Big Ten games here on WISC-TV all season long, starting tomorrow night when Ohio State hosts Akron at 2:30. And another change this year at Camp Randall, tickets are now fully digital. UW Athletics says the Badger app is the easiest and safest way to download and purchase tickets. You can still get paper tickets, but they come with a $75 service charge. And it is a Friday night football frenzy. Zach and Andrew will have highlights from the Badger game against Western Michigan and other high school football games. That's all in your final drive, coming up right after weather.
The 72-hour Labor Day weekend is Saturday through Labor Day Monday only at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Get up to $3,000 in rebates on top appliance brands. Plus, zero interest financing for 5 years. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley.
It never should have happened. The Waukesha Christmas Parade attack. 6 Wisconsinites mowed down by Darrell Brooks. Just days earlier, Brooks was arrested for trying to run over his girlfriend with the very same car. But Brooks was released on $1,000 bail. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted against increased funding for pretrial detention of violent criminals, making it easier for criminals like Darrell Brooks to terrorize our communities. Tell Senator Baldwin, violent criminals belong behind bars.
Drive into summer with a new Honda. Heading out for a day at the beach or a weekend in the mountains. Make an impression with the unmistakable style of the HR-V or turn heads in the sporty Civic. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Get an 11% rebate on paint that makes your exterior projects easier at Menards. Pittsburgh's Ultra Exterior Paint is paint and primer in one with great durability, making it perfect for many outdoor projects. A gallon starts at $27.98 after rebate. Get long-lasting color with Pittsburgh's Grand Distinction Exterior Paint and Primer in one. It's highly dew-resistant and provides a mildew-resistant coating. Get a gallon starting at $41.79 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just one coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Paint.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
During the Labor Day Mattress Marathon at Ashley, take up to $1,200 off on select Beauty Rest Black adjustable sets. Plus, get up to $300 in free furniture, 60 months 0% interest financing, and free delivery. Going on now at Ashley.
3 for the people. We should all be able to control our own reproductive lives.
I'm tackling the topic of women's reproductive rights and letting you know exactly where the candidates stand on this pivotal issue to help you cast an informed vote on Election Day, Tuesday at 6.
The hockey community is mourning the loss of NHL star Johnny Gaudreau, who was killed in a crash along with his brother last night in New Jersey. The 31-year-old left winger and his 29-year-old brother Matthew were struck and killed by a car as they were riding bikes near their family home. The men were in town as groomsmen for their sister's wedding, which was supposed to take place today.
Johnny was just a young kid when I knew him, but just watching him play over the years and making the success he had was the greatest thing that I could watch on TV for the NHL and South Jersey. And, you know, he was a great guy that I know of him.
The brothers started their hockey careers at Boston College. Johnny Gaudreau went to the NHL, where he played 8 seasons with the Calgary Flames and was set to start his 3rd with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Matthew played in the minor leagues and was a hockey coach at his high school alma mater. Police say the 43-year-old driver that struck the brothers failed a sobriety test and admitted to drinking 5 or 6 beers before getting behind the wheel. He's charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide. Switching gears, some good weather for some football, isn't that right, Alex?
Beautiful evening for football. Here comes that camera over here to this different angle for doing Maine weather. We got some nice weather on the way as well for the rest of the upcoming weekend. So we're just segueing into a beautiful stretch. Warm through Saturday. A little breezy as we head towards Sunday. That breeze is going to cool things down. Labor Day is not going to be super chilly, but chilly when we reflect on how warm it's been this past week. Those are the 3 things you need to get out of this weather forecast. But let's break into some more of those temperature details. We're down to 62 degrees in Madison. I thought as we'd be approaching nearing the end of the game, those temperatures would dip down closer to 60, and that is occurring out there. Light winds, so when you got light winds, temperatures near 60, it feels probably pretty good in the stadium right now. 58, that's where we're going to start Saturday. Let's continue to track those temperatures. Middle 50s in the Wisconsin River Valley, and it tends to cool down in the Wisconsin River Valley just a little bit. As we go a little bit further into Saturday, high temperatures in the lower 80s. We might have some middle 80s over portions of the Wisconsin River Valley. We've got an 84 in Boscoville and an 84 in Lone Rock. That's going to be the warmer part of the Labor Day weekend. We'll have a cold front coming through as we move into Sunday, starting off around 61. That's a mild start to begin Sunday, but we're only going to do temperatures in the lower to maybe middle 70s at best on Sunday, with a wind coming out of the north as well. So just a little bit of a chill in the air, again, compared to what we've been experiencing the past couple of days. Then as we move towards Labor Day Monday itself, a nice day, high temperatures of 74 degrees, mostly sunny conditions, seasonably cool temperatures. I say seasonably cool, average high temperatures are a little warmer than that for Labor Day. Let's look at some of those Labor Day temperature statistics. Again, it's all about the temperatures right now. One of the hotter Labor Days, 95 back in 1954. A couple of years all the way back to 1892, all the way up to 1965, where we had a high temperature of only 60 degrees. So that definitely would be feeling quite a bit on the chilly side for Labor Day. Average high temperature here in Madison for Labor Day, 77. And again, we're going to go for that high temperature right around 74 degrees. So a beautiful Labor Day is on the way, refreshing. These are the cooler temperatures. So we start at 82. We go down into the cool temperature range Sunday, Monday, going into Tuesday. Then we go back up to 80. Watch what happens after the 80-degree temperatures. Temperatures go back down to 74 degrees as we go towards Friday. What do you think is going on here between Thursday and Friday? We go from relatively warm down into the middle 70s. We got a weather system on the way. That's our next chance of rain Thursday going into Thursday night. 40% coverage right now, but it does look like that front's going to be a pretty decent sized front. We could be looking at some thunderstorms as well with that front too. Those morning storms clear out on Friday. As we head into the following weekend, then the temperatures cool back down to those slightly chillier values. Now the rainfall, we did get that appreciable rainfall. Wanted to make note of that. A lot of places picking up what we thought we would be getting last night, between a ½ inch, some places getting closer to an inch of rain. The more appreciable amounts of water were over southwestern Wisconsin, areas north and west of Madison, where we thought before that line of thunderstorms started to fizzle as it got to Madison and points off towards the east. With the nice stretch of weather ahead and some water in the ground, we're sitting in pretty good shape in southern Wisconsin.
Welcome back to another week of The Final Drive, our weekly sports show where we bring you the biggest and the best from our area's high school football. We start here after a dominant Week 1 win. Verona moved up to the 7th ranked team in the state, but this Wildcat team, they've got their eyes set on bigger things. After their quarterfinal exit last year, they say this year they want to go all the way. But to do that, you've got to get through teams like Kenosha St. Joseph. And they started off hot tonight. As we roll through the highlights, Caleb Hallmark had a huge storybook effect on this game with his pass to Aiden Chapman that led to a Verona Wildcats score. It was really a good game for Verona. Next thing that happens, they kick the ball off, and all of a sudden, here we are. We've got the highlights. Why don't we just run through them as we would have originally? Caleb Hallmark slinging one over to the side. A beautiful touchdown pass, a quick one to Aiden Chapman. And then check this out. Verona goes to kick it off, and you're thinking, why are we showing you a kickoff? Well, the reason is because Kenosha St. Joseph, they bring it back. We've got a fumble on our hands, and Jawan Jackson from Verona scoops it up, setting up yet another scoring opportunity. This time it's Hallmark passing a beautiful ball to his man, Jackson Connor, for 6. Last check, Verona up 32-0. Elsewhere in our area, the Badger Large trumps the Big 8 as Janesville Craig falls in a sour one. 10-7 the final. Milton comes out on top. Over to Waunakee, where one of the state's powerhouses hosted Vel Phillips Memorial tonight. And the Spartans, they came to play. Vel Phillips came out strong, opening a 14-0 lead in the first. But you knew Waunakee wasn't going to go away without a fight. Later in the first quarter, Eli Drangsvit off to the races to make it a 1-touchdown game. But these Spartans, I'm telling you, they are different this year. The kickoff, very next play, they're different because of this guy, Marion Moore. Anytime he's on your team, I like your chances. Breaks a few tackles, and there he goes. He's got reservations for 6. Chucks the deuce up. What more do you need to see? How about Vel Phillips, I should say, pulling off the true upset of the year so far, beating Waunakee 49-34. Elsewhere in our area, this was a fun matchup. Both Monroe and Mount Horeb were 1 seeds in Division III last year, but MHB is not to be beat. Mount Horeb wins it big, 39-7. Meanwhile, in Division V, Columbus hosted a top 5 matchup. Last year, Aquinas knocked the Cardinals out of the postseason. This year, Columbus returns the favor, winning a huge one, 20-16. And in their first season without Mason Lane, off to a really smooth start for the Lodi Blue Devils. A 2-0 start at that with their win over McFarland. Meanwhile, in Division VI, not exactly what we expected to happen here. Prairie du Chien defeating Darlington handily. The final score 35-7, but trust me, folks, those Redbirds, they will return to form. Staying in Division VI, where this may have surprised some people as well. The Cubans of Cuba City putting a number on Lancaster, winning it 45-14. And that other top 10 matchup we were really excited to see from our area. The bad news, still waiting on a final score there. We will have that to you, though. We'll have a lot more when it comes to sports next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I was robbed. They tried to run me over with a getaway car. He almost killed me right over here. He was laughing as he fractured my skull.
Amanda's attacker was an illegal immigrant drug dealer, arrested twice before, but released by San Francisco DA Kamala Harris.
If Kamala Harris hadn't let him out, this never would have happened to me.
Kamala put violent illegals, convicted felons, back on the streets.
Kamala just doesn't care about protecting people like me.
Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
How do you say welcome? With an entry door from Pella, of course. Say it with color, with class, with clarity, or with confidence. Choose from 3 materials and endless styles, plus every entry door is manufactured, installed, and warranted by Pella for years of comfort and durability. Right now, you can customize your home for 0% interest for up to 60 months. Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you you and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
When a crane collapsed during construction of a Major League sports stadium, 3 workers lost their lives. Their widows called us. When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident at a public utilities power plant, the 7 injured workers called us. When a factory exploded, injuring dozens of workers, 18 victims, including all 3 families of men who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Experience Overture's 24-25 Broadway season. See the best of Broadway. Subscribe at overture.org.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
After 242 long days, not that I was counting, Wisconsin football is officially back, kicking off their season under the lights at Camp Randall tonight against the Western Michigan Broncos. It got off to a slow start, but hey, it's week 1. Everybody's getting back used to this thing. But once they got into the second quarter, things started snapping into shape. Ches Malusi, the senior running back for another year, trying to prove what he can do when healthy. Number 1 is in for 6, the first touchdown of the season for the Badgers. The Broncos, though, they would buck right back. 4th and goal in the second quarter, and they just break the plane. We're tied at 7s, leaving Bucky needing points heading into half. And that's where Nathaniel Vakos comes in. The kicker puts it right between the uprights. They'd head to half with a score of 10-7 Wisconsin, checking as the score as we speak. In the fourth quarter, wow, this one is a lot closer than we expected. Expected a 25-point Wisconsin win just on paper, but heading into the fourth quarter, things are about as close as they can get. 13-7 is your score. Brewers opening a 4-game series with the Reds, tied at 4 in the 10th, and Sal Frelick plays hero, kind of. He grounds into a double play ball. It gets the run in, changes in the 2 outs, and the Brewers go on to win it 5-4 in extras. They'd win game 2 of the doubleheader 14-0. We'll be right back.
Let's do this.
Introducing Chevy's best lineup of SUVs ever. The rugged, always-ready Trailblazer, the first-ever Traverse Z71, and the Chevy Trax, starting at $21,495. When it's your time to shine, Chevy's got you.
Get 1.9% financing on select popular 2024 Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
If your windows are leaky and drafty, it's possible they weren't installed properly. Many installers lack proper training, and shoddy installation leaves your home vulnerable to extreme weather. At Next Door & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our approach ensures your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. And your windows and doors will be installed by certified experts who treat your home as if it was their own. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
I will make it a top priority to bring down costs for all Americans.
Her plan? She'll take on big oil and drug companies who rip us off, penalize big corporations who price gouge us on food and gas, and make billionaires pay their fair share.
Donald Trump fights for billionaires and large corporations. I will fight to give money back to working and middle-class Americans.
LCB Victory Fund and FF PAC are responsible for the content of this ad.
ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
You work hard enough. Take a load off this Labor Day with new appliances from Brothers Maine. Celebrate the holiday with unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Higher. Don't miss out. Shop the Labor Day sale at Brothers Maine today.
Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now, weekend mornings, moving forward.
Just look at this beautiful 10-day forecast that we have in front of us here, southern Wisconsin. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend.